Hey Kev, are you free?
I'm free.
We gotta take the Mercedes for some warranty work to the Mercedes store, so grab a plate and let's get out of here.
Ready to roll?
Yeah, just grab the keys on the blackboard, it's the red one, and I'll meet you at the store.
Okay.
What's it like being a used car dealer or a car dealer in general? You know, there's always exciting things that happen, you know, and as me being one of the owners, you know, some people think that the owners just get to sit back and not do anything. We do have a very busy operation. We have, you know, just under 30 employees now, and, you know, our shop, our state-of-the-art facility that we built can basically do anything. So we can wash, detail, service, obviously sell and finance. The one, you know, thing that some people don't think about, especially when you're carrying late model vehicles, so vehicles that are within a couple years of their manufacturer date, they do have a manufacturer warranty. And that is one thing that we unfortunately can't do in our shop. The nice thing is that as long as there's nothing funky going on with the car, you know, the warranties are intact, and you are able to take them in and get them covered. So, you know, we don't have to pay for some of the repairs when things do go wrong on newer cars. But because we can't do it in our shop, we have to drive all over the city, and sometimes you're in rush hour traffic or construction like I'm kind of going through right now. The car that we're taking is a beautiful 2017 C43 AMG Mercedes Coupe. One of the warning lights had come on, but it isn't covered under the manufacturer warranty. So the Mercedes store, the nice thing for us, there is only one in town, and it is on basically the same street. The problem is it's at the other end of the city, so we're at Route 90 and Selkirk Avenue, but the Mercedes store is on Kenniston, which is in the south end, which is actually close to where I live, so I passed by it. Oddly enough, the people that had built the Mercedes store built our building. So when they were finished completing this new building for the Mercedes store, they actually moved up the street and completed ours. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. I'm taking you guys on a ride now. We'll be picking up Kevin. Kevin is our reconditioning manager. He's in charge of orchestrating, getting the cars reconned and ready for the lot. Sometimes it's me and him that take these cars to drop them off, but it's really who's available and how quickly can we get these things done. I guess the other downside, which I didn't mention too, sometimes having to rely on other people's businesses, you know, is having to wait for appointments. So if there's an issue with one of our cars, I could get our cars looked at basically right away, right? We'd pull off one of our technicians from an internal job and get it looked at. Unfortunately, sometimes when you're dealing with other manufacturers, it's their business, they have their own customers, their own problems, and sometimes you do have to wait a little bit of time. So we did have to wait, I think, a little bit over a week to get this appointment. But we're finally on our way there now, and hopefully we'll get rectified quickly. So as we get closer here, we're about the halfway mark, just coming up to Grant. You know, as we're on the subject of warranty work and taking them back to the manufacturer, it's always, you know, it's interesting for sure, because as a used car dealer, I need relationships with the, you know, the different stores in town. The manufacturers in town, you know, they also appreciate our business, right? Because warranty work, they do get paid from the manufacturer, and you know, Mercedes might be a bad example because there is only one Mercedes store in Winnipeg, so they get all the Mercedes work. But when it comes to let's say Chrysler or General Motors or Ford, just like a consumer in Winnipeg has a choice of where to service their vehicle, you know, we have a choice. So these relationships are very important to us. One of our business philosophies in general is always trying to do the right thing, because we know if we do the right thing over the long course of business, that it will pay dividends to us. But on the subject of warranty work in general, I'm a student of anything I'm involved in. So I really do love learning. I love reading. I love watching different videos. So when I retired from hockey to join the family business. One of the first things I did is, we're a used car dealer, and who's the biggest and the best, right? Because the easiest way to get to crushing your goals is to find someone who's already done it and learn the pitfalls and the things that they've made them successful. So the largest at the time was a dealership in Texas called Texas Direct. They had 2,000 or 3,000 cars on the ground at any one time. They were selling close to 2,000 cars a month at the time that I'd retired. So we actually arranged to buy a vehicle from them so I could go down and get a tour of their building. One of the neatest things, as you can imagine, of having 2,000 cars, 3,000 cars on the ground and selling that much every month, you actually have that many incoming cars coming. But for them, having thousands of cars, they would have hundreds of cars a month that may need warranty work. Look, Kevin's going the wrong way. He saved himself. There's a Mercedes store just up there in the distance. Yeah, so they actually have at different manufacturer, like franchise dealerships around their location, I think it's in Stafford, Texas, they have service advisors and shuttle drivers that are exclusively for their dealership, because they have so many cars coming in to get looked at, and it is a profit center for those dealerships that they're working with. They really treat them like the top-notch client that they are. So I always thought that was kind of neat that the local franchise stores, to where that huge used car dealer is, that they actually employed people to take care of that one used car dealer specifically. Kevin's lost today. Oh, watch out for the guy on the bike. Okay, so we now just picked up Kevin. As I mentioned, Kevin's our reconditioning manager. I was telling them, Kev, about, one of the interesting things is we can do everything at our shop, but warranty work is one thing we can't. And,
unfortunately. And
just how important in general these relationships are for us, because, we need cars fixed properly and quickly, and, we can't do the warranty work for us. One thing Kevin and I talk about quite a bit, when the pandemic first hit last year, and as you guys have seen today, there's traffic, right? So when the pandemic hit last year, there was nobody on the roads, right? We could get to a dealership in the south end of the city in, like 18 minutes, where, now it could take you upwards of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on what time of the day you're going in. As you can imagine, when you're dealing with, upwards of 100 cars a month and trying to get them all ready, all these different 30-minute ventures, they add up at the end of the week. So, outside of not being able to do warranty work, we can't do body work either. We don't currently have a body shop on our location. It is really like a symphony. I tell Kevin it's like the Matrix, right? You kind of got to see cars coming, and as they're coming in, you got to place them into different places. So that is an interesting thing. But whether it's myself as one of the owners, or Kevin who's a reconditioning manager, or any of the other employees that work for us, it's very important to get these cars from our place to where they're going, and then get them looked after. As long as they see us as a valuable client, right? If you have a business and you have a valuable client, you want to take care of them in a timely fashion. So the ability to get appointments quickly is also important. My dad always said that cars are made by men and not by God, and from time to time things do go wrong, right? So even a brand new car, you could drive it for 10 kilometers, you might have an issue, but you could also have it for 5 years and never have an issue, right? And overwhelmingly, you have less, there's more cars with less issues than there are cars with issues. So on some of the off brands that we don't carry as frequently, the chances of us needing to go to a Mercedes is a lot less than, let's say, Ford or Chrysler, where we sell a much higher volume, right? Or General Motors products. So now, as we're getting close back to coming up here to ride time, so it's, gosh, I wish I would have looked at the time. It was probably about 35 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say that.
35-minute round trip from what we just did. For you, anyone who watching this has no idea who we are, what we do, we're a used car dealer here in Winnipeg. My brother and I are third generation car dealers. You know, the car business is different. It's not a passive industry. It's something you got to be on top of every day. You know, I'd like you to, or invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're seeing this on Facebook, like us on Facebook. Give us a follow, because, you know, we are doing a lot more of these videos. And, you know, giving you the ability to get a behind the scenes look at you know, how the operation works and what goes into, you know, getting these cars ready for sale. Because, you know, it's a whole job trying to find cars, and then it's a whole job trying to get them ready for the lot. And then, you know, if we do those two things right, then selling them ends up being a lot easier. So we're pulling back into our property here, 87 Oak Point Highway. And we're at the north end of Winnipeg, at the corner of Route 90 in Selkirk. Only a couple of minutes from the airport. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.